What is going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Woo-hoo-hoo, boy, it has been a long time since we've been able to film a video. Oh, and I have bloody freaking missed it. Not only have I missed filming videos, but I've missed the bloody wagon. It has been a long bloody time since we've seen it, since we've done anything with it, since we've filmed, since we've done anything. It's so good to be back. And at the moment, we are on our way to go, not only go see the wagon, but freaking spin some spanners and do some work on it. I'm all permitted up, I'm all vaxxed up, we got the green light, I've got a negative test, we got everything good to go, so I can go and freaking film and do, have some fun with freaking clickbait. So, without further ado, I'm not gonna waste any more time, let's get straight freaking into it. Alrighty, so first off, what we're going to be doing is we're going to pull off the headers. We're going to swap them over for the new ones. These ones are pretty trash and junk. They're just cheap ones that you can buy more or less. These ones I got for the old wagon when it was still on the street. They were new on the old wagon and they weren't the greatest quality, even brand new. And then obviously they were just the first ones that I could chuck on this when we were in the position to do it. They're not they're cheap junk. They're cheap junk. And you can see that they finish right there in the middle of the screen. They're not very long, so they get a bit of a strange note to them. And if you can also see on top there, you'll see when I pull it out, they're falling apart. They're cracked, they're shit. So we'll get rid of them. And that may also make it so on this side, there is better clearance on the starter motor. All right, so now we'll pull out all the plugs, or pull off all the leads, and we can get to it. All right, so now that bad boy's out, I can show you that. So I don't know if I actually showed that in a vlog or anything, but do you remember after Good Friday vlog, Good Friday skids, when we, Scott pointed out that there was something behind the front wheel, and it most definitely would have had to have come off my car. We couldn't figure out what the hell it was. Turns out it was the O2 sensor bung, and it had just completely snapped straight out. And then there's holes in the welds. They're shitty. They've always been cheap. So put them there. And in behind door number 1, we've got some fresh headers. And as you can see, I've already wrapped one of them. So if I get this out, temptation got the better of me. And thanks to the boys over at Manta, we actually got some new Manta, DeFilippo, but now Manta headers. So we've got some proper flowing ones, some good boys, some top shelf, literally the best ones money can buy that aren't custom. And you can see yesterday I got a little bit excited and went ahead and wrapped these ones already. I didn't have anything to cut these little tires off, so we'll do that here and install it. The only annoying thing is this is super freaking tight, super tight, except for where the collector is. I don't know how you get, it's still tight, it just doesn't look like it is. And it's annoying because I don't know with the way that it grows, I didn't know how. I tried to wrap it a million times and I couldn't, but rest of it is freaking awesome. I know a lot of you guys gave me shit for how my last ones were done, but if we compare these to the other ones now, you can instantly see how much longer they are. Now I wanted to make an extender so that these would be longer, so that they weren't just dumping straight at the engine bay, but instead we just did the right thing and got new, better quality headers. And then we'll just need to use make different flanges and put the turn downs on these so it points down at the ground. Yeah, you can see that especially on this piping, comes back, turns, the collector is shit, it leaks in the middle, all these welds are junk. And then you get from these ones, and especially on these middle pipes, they're a lot longer and a lot straighter, so long tube headers, and it's just so much neater. And I have a funny feeling it's going to make our life a lot easier, the clearances, because I can already see that these pipes stand up off the ground a lot higher than these ones do. So clearance issues hopefully makes our life a little easier. But now what we're pretty much going to be working on is we also have gotten this incredible bit of kit from Mr. Brett Nidry at Abena Engines. This is a Clearview oil filter for a lot of people that don't know. You've probably seen these in a lot of vehicles. These things are worth their weight in gold. I don't see why every car doesn't have one of these straight away, because you can see Clearview. You have your in and your out. You also have a HP6 style spin-on filter. And this just makes it so that while your car is running, you can not only see the flow, you can see the viscosity, you can see the condition of the oil running through it, but then once the engine's off this little thing just here, you can hook up an air line, blow out the oil, and you can see if there's any contaminants in the actual filter element itself. It's just a quick insurance way to be able to see if there's anything, you can catch bearing issues, you can catch anything coming through the engine to be able to diagnose a lot faster and a lot easier. pretty much everyone I know that runs one of these, it has saved them an engine at one point or another. All right, so we've just come under and we have tightened off the bottom of the mechanical fuel pump just so that we could drain. I know that there was a tiny bit of fuel, just in here. There was a tiny bit of fuel sitting in there and it was making it so hard to push the shutoff valve. So I don't remember if I set it at Brashenats or not, but especially in the morning, like when you do constant start, stop, it builds up, because of the mechanical pump's always spinning, it builds up so much pressure in that little line just there that it makes it so freaking hard sometimes to move the actual shutoff valve in the car. Now, yeah, I can't remember if I brought it up at Brashenats or not, but literally in the morning to open the shutoff valve for fuel, to get fuel to the engine, I had to reach into the engine bay and pull on the actual shutoff lever as hard as I could while Indy was in the car pulling on the actual one inside the car too. We just got it to budge. And that's just because of constant start, stop. So it builds up so much pressure. So now I've learned not to do that as much. So we pretty much just emptied it and opened it. But what I was getting to at the whole point of this was that now I'll get under the car and show you. Remember the starter motor was sticking from the one of the last videos we did where we changed the transcooler lines? We just got under here to look at it again and it's no longer stuck. So I don't know if that was the solenoid or something sticking in the starter motor itself, if it could be faulty or whatever. But it's not stuck now and it's not still stuck on the flywheel. So get under there and have a look. Yeah, so it's no longer engaged and stuck, which is good. But while we're under here, you can see the headers still touch it. So, look at it. This is what blew off and snapped off the other headers. So this is what we found on the pad at Good Friday Burnouts, this bit here. And we're like, what the hell did that come off? But I'm gonna rip this header out now. So we have to relax the steering arm just there, and then it comes out easy. Already got the other one out. We're also gonna plan out where we're putting the Clearview filter. Well, under here, we'll just have a look at stuff. You can still see I've got to clean a lot of the stuff from all the fluid that blew out under here, and still look, it's still dripping trans fluid from just there, but we'll clean it all up. All right, so steering rack out of the way. Now we can reach in. I'll get undo dipstick as well. And the header's come out. Sweet. Alrighty, so tested the new header fitment. These ones are so much nicer. And I don't know if you can see, yeah, look at that, clearance. Now, even when I hit the other ones, they still didn't quite have clearance in there. So very good that we've done that. These headers are just better by all means. Actually, I'll get under there in a sec too, at least if we put the car back up. I want to see where they finish now. Especially when we put the dampers back on where they'll finish. It's just going to sound better. So now we're going to mount the Clearview. Now we've got some some factory fastening points just here. So we're going to go off that, drill another one and nutsert it, and then keep it so the filter's about here. Just for ease of use so you can see it. I did want to put it here, but it's just not going to work, especially with a HP6 spin-on filter. It's just going to be so big that you won't be able to get around here. It's going to be hot. If you need to change the plugs, it's going to be impossible to get in there. So this is just one of the best spots. I would have liked also to have it up front here, but again, the filter would have gotten in the way. Maintenance wouldn't have been the easiest. It's just the most logical spot to put it back there. And then we've got our fresh cooler lines that weren't even hooked up, that we can try and route to it without a header in there, see what we can predict, see what we might need, see what parts we need to order. So one thing we're also doing is, a couple people noticed this as well, is I'm going through and changing all the ORB fittings with the rubber washers, I don't know what you want to freaking call them. A lot of the ones that they actually come with from most places you buy them they're not supported or work with alcohol, methanol, nitro, all of that. So we've got a full set just here. We're slowly just going to go around, and over time we'll just change every ORB fitting that has one of these rubber seals. I know that there's one on the fuel cell. There's probably going to be a couple around here. We're just pretty much just going to have to chase them, follow them, and just one by one swap them all over. So we did jump the gun a little bit, and we decided to paint the Clearview. We were literally in the midst of mounting it. Neil was with his mastery, just decided to whack it in there, and it fits so perfect. And one thing led to another, and we just decided to paint it. So now we're plumbing it up. And we've got, all of our hose and everything. I bought an extra length of hose. The fittings, I ordered the bloody fittings wrong, I think twice. So the first time Kevin Smith from Rocket, he saved my ass, got the fittings we need, and then I noticed I ordered another wrong fitting. But luckily, Mr. Andrew Hawkins from Motive Video, he came to the rescue again. So we've now got the adapter fitting there, which is awesome because I scratched the paint changing it over, which I knew I was going to do. And now the adapter fitting that'll go into this one so we can plumb it. So we've got this dash 10, which magically can go straight down through where that grommet would be. Now we'll have to obviously P-clamp it when it's up here, but we can get it, okay, it's hard to do with only one hand under there, but we can get it well away from all the suspension, all the way up underneath the breather tank, and then it'll come across, and you can see the hose is just here, that it comes along to the cooler. So it's going to come out of the engine, through the cooler, back into the Clearview, and then into the engine. The best thing about it going through that is I was going to have to run the hose along the chassis rail just here and then come back up to it, which not only could have looked a bit ugly and out of place, but it would have been right next to the heat makers coming out of the headers. So really happy that we can get it away from that. And it's completely away from any of the wheel and suspension movement in there. So perfect place for it. And then we've also got a bunch of heat sleeve as well. So because we will have to have the out from the filter come back here, down there, past the headers and down to where you can see the filter just there. So it's got to go past some heat. So I've already started making the lines because I didn't want to be sitting around wasting time today. So I've already got 180 on there. And then the rest of this hose, already got the heat sleeve on there. So we'll test fit that in there now, make sure the length is perfect. But I'm pretty sure the length is perfect. We'll just have to cut it down. And luckily, yeah, like this is an uncut, I think 2 meter length of hose. And like, look, it's there and it needs to go to there, like perfect. Couldn't have done that better. Don't even have to cut it. Just put a freaking fitting on the end. All right, so we're gonna get into that now. Alrighty, so we had to swap over the 2 fittings just here, which sucks because we can't seem to get it tight where you can line up the flats, which is really annoying. But yeah, so we had to swap them. So you can see this one does a 180 just here because you've got, I wonder if I can film it. You've got to be able to clear where the filter's going to go. So now it can, which then also helps it pin against the firewall. It'll go down there. Damn, we're probably going to end up cutting a lot of that hose. Either way, that works quite well. Nice and neat. Looks very good. I'm just going to have to touch up a little bit of paint. And yeah, loving it. I know it looks kind of like, it's kind of a bit off. We can't tell if that's just because like we put a level on it. We don't know if that's just like, it could have just been because the hoist wasn't like level or whatever. So, but either way, mounted properly and looks fucking sick. But because we haven't got the spin-on filters just yet, K&N is sending us out some HB6 spin-on filters for this. Well, obviously gonna have to wait for that until we can even just turn it over to get some oil pressure up and get it going good. But I'm excited to use it. Alrighty, so luckily from the old filter, we were able to steal the seal, which is what I was hoping they intended you to do, seems as though it doesn't come with one. But now we're gonna get the billet connections little adapter. Come under here, try and screw her on. So yeah, just coming under now, all plumbed up, hose is made, everything worked freaking mint. Still dripping oil from when we pulled off the original filter, but everything's on there nice and tight. Everything's mint. I did get this line to snake a little bit instead of just coming straight to it. I just wanted to take some of the slack off this angle. There's still a little bit of tension on it that worries me, but it shouldn't be enough that actually really matters. Only because this one, I could back that off and go inwards a little bit more, but I wanted to make sure I had a gap in between just so that they weren't rattling against each other with how much the engine shakes. But we're just gonna have to monitor it and have a look, and the next time we turn the engine on to heat cycle it, that'll be when we can actually fully see pretty much what it's doing. Make sure that everything's still all golden and everything's running. And the benefit is we can literally look at the Clearview to make sure oil's pumping and everything, and look under the car for leaks. Yeah, that goes all the way up. You can see the heat sleeve doesn't touch the headers or anywhere, so everything's mint. Whole thing's plumbed up. Just need to wait for the filters to arrive from K&N, and then we can one step closer to just pumping it for a heat cycle. Now, I can't see, like, that looks like it's on a dead perfect angle, but we're gonna have to just either touch power to it or check it, like engage it, figure it out. Oh, you can see that it is only, like, if you look at the teeth, see how where it's freshly touched, it's only halfway down a tooth. That's what you want. You don't want engagement all the way to the depth of the tooth. So it is what you want regardless. But the fact that it was getting stuck engaged is a bit of an odd one. Again, we'll just have to monitor it, have a look, see if it does need to be changed or angled, or just gonna have to wait. Testing, it's always the fun bit, eh? But yeah, Clearview's all plumbed up. We'll bring the car down and have a look in the engine bay now. Right, and then coming under the car just here, you can see we P-clamped it. We use the heat sleeve just so it's kind of like, I guess, I don't know, grommet. But yeah, mainly so when it comes up through here, goes through there. The rubber just it just acts as an insulator, and so we didn't have to find random grommets for it, just so it's not rubbing on anything. And then we did test, we went full lock on the wheel, and it comes like, you still get another like 30 mil before it's even close at full lock to touching the hose. So plenty of room, all plumbed up. And then I came under, just cleaned everything up under here. So now it all looks much nicer. You can see cleaned up all the fins, cleaned up all the oil and everything from under here, and everything just looks nice. Alrighty, so pretty much that's where we're gonna wrap it up today. We've just, like, Neil's just bolted down the other header, having an issue with one of the bolts, so he just took the time to relax the others and get the other one seated properly. But everything, at least on the passenger side, is done. We just have to make a minor adjustment to the dipstick, which is fine because it was really in a shit spot with the last headers, so now it's actually in a much better spot. Turns out that just like I suspected, the dipstick wasn't quite, like the actual dipstick housing tube wasn't quite seated perfectly in the sump. So it looks like we've actually been overfilling the oil only by a tiny bit, but still. So now we get a more accurate reading, because with these headers, the dipstick tube can actually seat properly. But yeah, I'll show you what we've gone over and what we've done, because it's all looking freaking schmick now. So yeah, pretty much I gave everything just a very quick little dust over, but now, yeah, new header, it's wrapped. The reason, if you're asking yourself why I haven't wrapped all the way to the top, it's so that we can get a temp gun when the car's running and get an accurate, quick heating, like a temperature point from each of the headers. So I don't know if you ever want to tell if we've got a misfire or something, you can quickly tell, because we've got, like, when we don't have to try and shoot through here and try and guess, you can get straight on the metal just there. All the plugs are back in. Now we've got this mounted, and we've got, so perfectly, this works where the feed can come straight down from there, and then it runs, you know where it runs, I've already shown you a couple times. But yeah, it just runs behind there, comes out here. So as I was saying before, when it comes from bottom of the sump there, out through the cooler, back around, through it, and then it pumps down there. So we've got a heat sleeve as it goes behind the headers, but it's got a lot of clearance behind there. We shouldn't have any issues. But I think that's where we're wrapping it up for today. So now I'll put the big girl to sleep until I come back out, which should hopefully be soon. And in the next video, I'll give you an update on the rear end and what we're doing with that, because lots of good stuff there. But for now, once we've got this big girl tucked in, pull the plastic back over her. We'll call it a day. Alrighty lads, that's where we're gonna wrap up today's video. Oh man, I hope you guys enjoyed that, because it was just so good. Not only so good to just be able to talk to you guys again and film a video, just so good to be out of the house and doing shit. I know that things aren't particularly getting better right now with the way everything's going on, but one small step, hey, I'm able to go and at least go work on the car, so that's amazing. But we're just gonna have to see how the rest of the future kind of unrolls kind of thing. Hopefully we can get back to pads soon. Hopefully we can get back to events soon. But just gonna have to see how it goes. Now, I could have kept this video for when we had more content to upload, because I can't guarantee when more content's going to be coming because of just the way life is at the moment. But I'll let you guys know, and I'll keep you guys updated with absolutely everything we're going to be doing. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, just so that you can be up to date with everything, because Instagram's still where I upload most of this. Like, if I'm not uploading to YouTube, I'm uploading it to Instagram. So make sure you're following us there. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up today's video, guys. It was so good to be back. And I hope to see you guys again. Don't forget to subscribe. Alrighty, guys, take it easy. Catch you later. Peace.
There's nothing that we got in common. I've been out grinding and hustling, investing this paper. Got tired of eating that ramen. All of my music be heat, I ain't missing a beat. I've been blessed with impeccable timing. Watch all them people who friendly, it turn into envy whenever they see that you shining. Okay, I'm back.